Abigail Henson. I'm with Farm Girl Juicery, social mission driven juicery looking to get people using up all their scraps and drinking juice in the community. Of course, we're going to be making it for people, but I want people to know at home as well what an awesome option this is, so that they can use up all the leftover scraps in their fridge. I grabbed on the way here just the cheapest juicer I could find on the shelf, not to say that it's low quality, but we're going to be using the Hamilton Beach one. It was $49. You can also find them through the Salvation Army and different thrift shops, because people sometimes buy them, decide they're not going to use them, and they bring them to the thrift store. But what I want to teach you today is how to use it, and if you're not into drinking a big glass of fruits and veggies, there's many different things you can do with it. So as quickly as possible, as you can see here, we have an array of options. We're going to try to get through a soup, a dressing, and a smoothie on top of the juice that we're making. So I'm going to get started and turn this right on. It'll be a little noisy. We're going to go through pink celery, honey nut squash, organic apples, a little bit of ginger, some like this, the end of the romaine that I didn't use for the salad. Put that right in your juice bucket as well to juice at the end of the day. That's why getting rid of some of these scraps, juicer really helps for that. Let's go. Grab this carrot as well. Another thing I want to show you. Doesn't matter what the size is, big, small, whatever you got. Sometimes at the grocery store, because it doesn't look beautiful, they don't get sold. We don't need to worry about that with juice. However it looks is how we put it through the juicer. Start getting all that goodness, and we're starting to get a good amount of liquid here. And now we're going to get that out of there. Start putting some carrots through. Made a sufficient mess here. Doesn't need to be that messy when you're set up in the kitchen. I'm kind of at a weird angle here. But as you can see, you could just drink this juice. It is delicious. You could throw almost anything in it. Maybe an acquired taste, but you don't have to use fruits and vegetables that you don't love already. But you might find that there are some that create a really interesting flavor that you've never enjoyed before that way. The first thing we're going to start with is the soup. So I'm going to get these onions just kind of getting aromatic, and while those are going, we're going to use some of this juice for smoothie. So in this, I've done yogurt, a little bit of ice cube. We're going to do half a banana. When you go to the store, a lot of times bananas are one of the first things that kind of get chucked out the grocery store door because they have a couple brown speckles on them, and they just don't look proper for the customer according to the grocery store. So if you notice that there's a bunch that's a little more brown than the rest, take those, because you're going to take them home and put them in your freezer anyways. You can take them out just like this, throw them in a Ziploc bag, pop them in the freezer. For today's purposes, this one isn't frozen. We're going to pop it in there anyways. I'll grab a little napkin here. I'm back. And so this is maple hill yogurt, clean slate, honey, a little coconut milk, half a banana, an ice cube, A little bit of this juice in there. Pop it on the blender. Get that going. When you go to work, actually, for your lunchbox, if you bring your juice to work, you can actually just throw the top on there. It's not like you have to worry about it staying frozen, but you're going to get that mix of your yogurt and your coconut milk and that fresh juice that you put in there as well. While this is going, we are going to start to add a couple other ingredients. This is just going to put in this whole cooked potato. It's a really great soup thickener. Half potato instead of using like a roux with flour and butter. A little bit of stock to start going in there within it. And a little bit of coconut milk here as well. Get some of those Thai flavors. And some of this juice. So we had the honey nut squash, ginger, yellow carrots. The onions were simmering there, cooked potato. If you're wondering about the recipe, you don't have to wonder about it overly. I will attach something, but the first thing I tell people about recipes is just don't follow them. To make a soup, you want an aromatic, you want a nice liquid or a stock, you want a little bit of a thickening agent. Other than that, it's really like what is left in your refrigerator. Soups are a great way to clean out your refrigerator, and juice kind of just adds that extra element of extracting those flavors in a different way. Things that you don't need you can throw right in the compost bucket and start a little pile in your backyard. And the next thing we're going to do is dressing, and then we'll blend our soup, and you'll see that we made 3 things in less than 20 minutes, all with getting rid of stuff from the refrigerator. Alright, this is an immersion blender. It's an awesome tool. Again, it's not very expensive. You can also find them usually at the thrift shop. Basically what you do is you can do right in your soup pot, handheld blender, just throw the blade on it. We're actually going to blend it in a real blender today, but for the dressing we are going to use it right in here. And these are wonderful little tools, save on time and mess. Let's see. Chili oil, a little bit of onion, some mirin and rice vinegar for the vinegar component. And when you're making a dressing, 3-to-1 ratio of oil to vinegar is really all you need to know, and then you can start adding whatever flavors you really want in there. So here we go with our golden carrot, ginger, pink celery, all that yummy goodness. We use the leaves of everything, we use the ends of everything. So now, as I'm blending these flavors, I'm just going to drizzle my oil to emulsify. Smoked elder salt. Crack it in on the side here. And what I mean by emulsify is oil and water, they don't want to mix. You often hear that. Well, those two things go together, like oil and water, meaning they don't want to conjoin. By creating a high speed, what we're doing is basically forcing the oil and water to adhere together, which is what creates the thickness in a mayonnaise or dressing. Not looking too shabby there. of this over some steamed broccoli and romaine. It's nice to have a warm salad too in the winter. Create your temperature to go with the season. And we've got a little, where do my sesame seeds go? There they are. Little sesame seed, toasted sesame, black and white. Just pop it on the top there, and we've got a beautiful salad with a dressing we made from our juice. I'm gonna move this out of the way and get to our last and final piece, which is blending this soup. Pop this off so I can get it closer to me. Turn that off because we're done with the heat. Those last little ingredients in there without making too much of a mess. Closer to my actual thing here. Doesn't seem to be stuck on anything, but it's not going down. Not really sure what's up with that. Well, see if we get this potato down there a little bit more, if that helps it. Get it down there. Oh, silly Abigail. Line the arrows up. Each blender is a little different, just like your food processor at home. If you have to ever use somebody else's food processor, it's like all of a sudden you don't know what you're doing. Here we go. Gotta get that potato down there. Maybe it would have been a little better to break it up after all. Feel very Julia Childs here. Get that in there as a thickener. There we go. Here, I like to blend things for quite a long time, just to create that extra smoothness. This will have a little bit of bite to it, because we're going a little fast here. Just gonna blend it one last time with that salt and pepper for flavor. Honey nut squash potato bisque, ginger, golden carrot, and yes, we did create a mess, but we also created 3 or 4 different ways to enjoy ingredients that would normally add up in your fridge, and at the end of the week when you're getting nervous because you just haven't moved through them, it takes a lot of produce to get a little bit of juice. You saw that whole big bowl. That's one of the reasons why I like juice, because it extracts the most nutrient dense of the fruit and vegetable that you need, helps us get rid of some scraps, and like I said, if you don't love drinking a fresh glass of juice, which is actually a really nice morning ritual, there's plenty of other ways that you can enjoy it too. So thanks so much for having me on, and I hope that this was helpful.